Hello everyone, welcome back to Chibi and Chill, the anime podcast, the podcast that talks all about all things anime, all things manga, anything that you're kind of thinking Japan related, it's about anime, it's about manga. I'm going to be talking about it on this podcast, so be sure to subscribe to make sure you don't miss an episode. So I'm your host Ryan, and I'm a massive anime and manga fan, and I have been for many years, since the 90s, since I was a kid, and that fad has never truly ended. So a few things before we dive into today's episode. Down in the episode show notes you'll find links to my Etsy shop where you can find a bunch of anime themed goodies for you to shop and enjoy. So there's pin badges, there's stationery, there's keyrings and more. Whether you're a One Piece fan, a Jujutsu Kaisen fan, a Pokemon fan, a Mario fan, or anything else, you'll find a goodie on the shop for you to check out. There's something for every anime and manga fan over there. The link is down in the footer in the show notes, so be sure to check out my Etsy shop, Chibiweeb merch on Etsy. If you're a gamer, much like me, then why not check out Razer? You can find a bunch of accessories from mouses, keyboards, headsets, mouse mats and more, to the bigger stuff like gaming laptops and desktops. Over on the Razer website, link down below, you can shop a whole host of gaming accessories, from the Chroma range, which is all colourful, which is my favourite stuff, to more sleek black stuff, including even their own merchandise, clothing, bags and accessories. There's something for everyone. The link is down below for you to check out and shop. Hello everyone, welcome back to Chibi and Chill, the anime podcast. Happy New Year. This is the first episode of 2024, which is a little bit crazy. As time recording this, it's like the 4th of January, so it kind of already feels like the days are quickly going past. But if you're like me, the past couple of days are being filled with kind of planning your year, being inspired, listening to cool podcasts, planning what I kind of want to happen this year, all that good stuff. It's kind of like that most motivational time of the year. I always think this is like the most inspirational point. Like, I've started a fitness regime again. I've started planning the podcast even further ahead, all that good stuff. So I feel feeling motivated, but this time on the podcast, it's all about the Crunchyroll lineup for January. So this got shared a little bit in later December, and I did not get a chance to cover it. However, we'll cover it now, and now there's even more on this list, so it may be even better now that we've got a chance to kind of really thoroughly look at the list. And I think there are some more additions being added to this, so this will update, but here's a good overview of the Winter 2024 lineup and what we can kind of expect from Crunchyroll, and which ones are like the top picks, the new season picks, which ones are the ones that people are most excited about, and which ones are kind of like the dark horses of the anime season. So to kick off the episode, let's dive through some of the new season picks, and this is the anime that people are most excited about. This is the anime that people are hyping up, that they're talking about, that people are excited to see. And if anything like me, I've got a list of anime that I've started that I have not finished. Even though I tried my best to finish it before January, I am still behind on some anime, I'm not going to lie. I was so busy over the back end of December that I have not had chance to properly go through my anime list and tie off quite a few series. I'm really embarrassed to say that I've not finished some really key series, and I've been so busy. December is always that busy time of year, isn't it? It's always busy. But what a perfect time to talk about more anime I should be checking out and that you should be checking out, while I'm sat here with a list as long as my arm of anime I've not yet finished. Why not? Hey ho, it's all part of the hobby, I guess. But it is kind of fun when you can kind of let each series get to like 3 episodes, and then you can kind of judge it properly from then. So 3 weeks in is probably like the best time to jump into a series. You can watch 3 episodes in one go. But let's see what happens. Let's see which ones out of this list we should both be checking out. So the first one on this list is one that is the most hyped out of all of the series, which is Solo Leveling. And this one I've spoke about on the news series quite a few times, with all the different trailers and social media links and news, that kind of stuff. But it's so hyped, and it's all about Jinwoo, and It's kind of level up from the weakest hunter to a one-man powerhouse. And this one is the one that looks the most kind of intense and the most interesting. The manga is super popular, so if you're a fan of the manga, definitely check this out. This will be obviously right up your street because you're reading the manga. But definitely check this one out. It's so hyped, and one that I think I know very little about Solo Leveling. I've not actually read the manga, I have to say. However, I think I will have to give this a try just because I need to see if it lives up to the hype. Solo Leveling Series 1 starts on January 6th. There isn't a time as of yet. However, it'll be January 6th that it starts. I'm very excited because one of my favourite anime is actually returning this year. Well, this year, but this season is returning this time. So on January 6th, the same time, Blue Exorcist is returning in a brand new series with the enemies of the Illuminati on the horizon. And I got so into this anime and was so upset when they didn't really carry the seasons through consecutively. And I cannot wait for this series to return. I can just about remember the ending of the last series. So I really hope it follows on kind of through and through, but if not, I'm really excited to dive back into this anime. This was so good. I cannot wait. January 6th, Blue Exorcist. Another one on this list is actually a newcomer to me. I've never heard of the manga or this anime at all, and it's Metallic Rouge. And this one starts on January 10th, and it's all about a young girl named Rouge who carries out an operation to take out 9 androids who threaten humanity. It looks quite sci-fi. It's almost mecha in a way, more sci-fi. It's not really got any large robots in it with the look of it, but that kind of vibe, that kind of like sci-fi, characters covered in metallic boots, that kind of stuff. Looks cool. I've not seen the trailer, but the poster is very intriguing, and I'm really excited to I'm excited to dive into a new kind of genre. I don't really look at a lot of sci-fi anime or techie anime. To say how techie I am in real life, that's quite surprising. But it's interesting. It kind of looks a little bit, or it's giving me a vibe of Neo Genesis Evangelion. It's giving that kind of vibe, which I'm all there for, iconic. So let's see. This one I think isn't very high on my list, but it's one that I'm aware of. I think I might have to see some reactions on social media, maybe see some clips of it first before I kind of dive in. I need to finish what's on my list first anyway, but if you're into like mecha and sci-fi, this should be quite high up on your list. That one airs on January 10th. There are some really fun new simulcasts as well. So there's one called Delusional Monthly Magazine, and that one airs on January 11th. And the caption literally just says, "Uncover a world of outlandish news stories with the journalists behind the Delusional Monthly Magazine." And it looks very fun, quite colourful. I'm very intrigued. I'm intrigued enough to watch this. Don't know if I'll carry it through. I really hope I will. But I really hope it looks fun. It looks like it's almost going to take fun of itself. It looks fun. From the trailer, there's quite a lot of it gives like almost a Spy Family vibe to begin with. It feels quite spy-esque, but then there's also kind of some clips that look like there's magical transformations into like a tiger looking thing. So it looks like a mix of quite a few different genres. So if you're up for an anime that looks a little bit more quirky, a little bit more fun, then definitely check this one out. This one will be fairly high up on my list, I think. Don't know if I'll see it through, but we'll see. Another anime returning this season is Burn the Witch, and this is the anime that there's only, I think, 2 episodes in the first season, and it's kind of like a mini project, but I really wish they kind of took this much further. I really enjoyed the first one, however, I felt it was missing so much, and this one is a little bit like a prequel to the first season, so I think it's going to explain a lot more about the world, maybe build the world a little bit more. I really hope that it does. I think this was such a cool premise, and it was nice to see an anime set in London and have that kind of almost Harry Potter kind of vibe, but in a kind of different way. I loved the premise of this, and I thought they could have done so much more with it, so I'm happy to see it return. I just really hope they take everyone's feedback and kind of build into the world and the characters a lot more. But this one returns now, so this one's actually available right now. This season, we also have the returning of quite a few big series, some new, some quite established. Classroom of the Elite has season 3 starting on Wednesday at 7 a.m. We've then also got one of the kind of highlight series from the last season, Martial, Magic and Muscle Season 2. And this one comes out on January 6th as well. So that one is one of the ones that's really hyped. I didn't finish this and I didn't get into it as much as I really wanted to, but I feel like once I've got my anime list a little bit emptied out, a little bit further, I think I will be giving this one another go because I do like the idea of it. I couldn't get into it at the time. So maybe new year, new me. Maybe I'll dive into this anime again. One new anime that I'm quite excited to see, and it's right up my street with kind of ancient Japan and demons, is Sengoku Yoku. And this one is in an ancient Japan filled with demons, one brother and sister embark on a journey to defeat all evil. Fairly vague, but the trailer looks awesome. This one is definitely one of my top picks. The animation just looks so good. The amount of detail in the characters' eyes alone looks great, and it looks a little bit like a mix between kind of Naruto meets Demon Slayer, that kind of vibe. And I'm so here for it. At the end of the trailer, it does say fully animated with 3 seasons. So I'm quite interested to see that they've already kind of announced or semi-announced that there's going to be 3 seasons of this. I cannot wait to start this. I've never actually heard of this before, not heard of the manga, but this one looks right up my street, so I cannot wait for this one to come on to Crunchyroll. And the date for the release of this one is January 10th, so I will be watching this one as soon as this one drops. If you're looking for more of a romance-focused anime, there's one called A Sign of Affection that comes on January 6th on Crunchyroll, and it's all about a love story that begins with Yuki, a college girl who is deaf, and Itsuyomi, her world-traveling upperclassman. The poster, the key art for this looks really pretty. It looks so soft and gentle looking, and one that if you're really into romance anime, this should definitely be on your list if it's not already. There's an anime called The Foolish Angel Dances with the Devil that's coming on January 8th on Crunchyroll, and this one is the same kind of vibe as The Devil is a Part-Timer, so it's all about kind of an angel character who kind of has to join forces with the devil, and it looks very playful, very fun, kind of cheeky, and it has this exact same kind of vibe as The Devil is Part-Timer. So if you're a fan of that, this may be right up your street to kind of check out. I usually love a series like this to kind of dive into in between some more serious anime or more heavy anime, I guess, to kind of keep it light, keep it fresh. But I like an anime like this. I think it's fun. It's nice to kind of watch when you've had a very heavy day, maybe, and you need just a fun, light, silly anime to kind of just take the edge off. This one is coming on January 8th, and the animation on this one does look really nice. So it's something visually nice to look at as well if you've had a very busy day. The overall theme, I think, for some of the anime that's coming this season feels very similar. There's an overall vibe of kind of magical or sorcerer, kind of devil play. I don't want to say devil play, but kind of the themes with devils and angels and kind of mystic and magic. It feels all kind of a similar vibe, which I'm actually kind of into, and I kind of like that there's a seasonal theme. I guess that's kind of fun. But there are some returning series as well, which we'll go through in a second. But I think my top picks for what we've just covered, I think if I had to pick some, I think I'd definitely have to say Solo Leveling, Blue Exorcist. We've then got ones such as Sengoku Yoku, and then we've also got ones such as Delusional Monthly Magazine, which sit alongside the kind of more playful lines as well. There's quite a nice mix, but there's definitely an undercurrent of an underlying kind of magical vibe or ancient Japan mythical vibe to the whole season, which is kind of strange, but it's nice. This wouldn't be a proper full lineup if we didn't kind of mention some of the ones that are continuing from last season into this season. So we've got some huge names in this, and ones that were new to last season, but ones that have absolutely just skyrocketed to kind of anime stardom, I guess. The first one I have to say is One Piece. So the One Piece anime is continuing with a new arc, the Egghead arc, and it's got a new anime style which looks very interesting. I'm surprised they didn't continue on with the animation style of Wano because of how good it kind of got critically acclaimed for that. Critically acclaimed, that's not the feedback from us watching it, I guess. The comments on social media saying how good it looked. But this one, they start on a new adventure on a futuristic island of Egghead. We've seen the poster, we've seen the little trailer and all the little clips. And this one starts on Saturday at the time of recording this. So I believe that's the 6th. But on the Saturday, the One Piece returns with Egghead arc. So this one, I am prepared for the Crunchyroll server to crash. So I believe I may have to download some episodes of other anime to watch in case it does crash on me, just in case. But heads up, if you can't access it, that may be why. There's also Fire Emblem Beyond Journey's End. This one's continuing on Fridays. And this one is all about decades after the defeat of a Demon King. One elf seeks to fulfill the wishes of her former party. This one, again, does actually feel right up my street, so I'm surprised I'm not watching this. But yeah, again, my list is very long. But if you have watched this, please let me know. Is it definitely worth a watch? And then we've got the Apothecary Diaries as well. This was one that I was super, super hyped and excited to watch as part of the last season's lineup. And it's continuing on Saturdays, kind of until it finishes, I guess. But this one, if you haven't started it, it's all about a person being forced to work at the Imperial Palace. A young apothecary learns the ins and outs of the Royal Society, and it's kind of mystery, kind of medicine, kind of focused, and looks glorious. The key artwork for this one alone is an absolute vibe. It's so, so gorgeous to look at, but the anime as well is just awesome. So if you're watching that, it continues as well. I think the overall season for winter 2024 anime does look really good. There are some really standout anime that I definitely cannot wait to kind of get started and dive into their worlds. There are some that I haven't actually included on this episode, but there are some that I'm interested in, but I don't think I'll start them until a kind of a space clears up on my list, and there's quite the list. However, the season does look really good. What anime are you excited to watch in January? It's a new year, and I think that is that kind of special moment where you can kind of reevaluate not only your life, but also reevaluate what anime you're watching and which ones you want to prioritize, which kind of new genres you want to dive into. And I think that is one of the most exciting points. Not only can you kind of plan out what you're going to be doing with your life, you can plan your anime life as well. One of the Christmas presents that I got this year for Christmas, obviously, was an 100 anime bucket list poster. And it's kind of like it's like a big scratch card, but it has 100 anime on it. And you kind of, once you watch some, you scratch it off. And there are some anime on there that there's a lot of anime on that list that I've not actually watched, and sometimes I think it's easier for us to focus on genres that we particularly like. Personally, I love ghosts, demons, that kind of spooky vibe for anime, so I don't really dive into romance anime. So I think what I'm going to do every couple of episodes, I'm going to give you an update on the podcast on where I'm at on my bucket list poster, and I'll update it on social media as well, so you can kind of see visually progress. I've scratched ones off that I know I won't be watching again because I've already watched them. I've already kind of completed them. But there are some on there that I will be rewatching because maybe I didn't finish it when it very first came out. But that is something that I'll be adding to the podcast. I'll be adding my progress as I kind of make my way through this 100 anime poster. And I cannot wait to see all the illustrations underneath. So I'll be adding that to my watch list for the overall year as well. I'm actually really excited to start it. I just need to clear my list first before I can dive into that list and this list. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Chibi and Chilled Anime Podcast. Thank you so much for every listen and download. It really does mean a lot to me. Thank you so much. From one week to another, thank you. Please do leave a rating and a review on the podcast platform that you're listening on this to. It really does support the show. It only takes a few seconds and it's free. I cannot ask. If I ask one thing of you, I'd ask that. Please do leave a rating and a review. Even if it's not great, please let me know. It's even a bad one. Well, bad press is always, what's the saying? Any press is good press, I guess. Oh, that rhymed. So a rating and review would be great. It really does support the show, so thank you so much for whatever kind of review you do leave. Sometimes finding a birthday card or an occasion card can be a boring task. However, I have some anime themed cards on my Thortful.co.uk creator profile, which is found in my links on social media. Over on Thortful, you'll find a bunch of anime themed cards such as Studio Ghibli Happy Birthday cards and more, with my range being updated regularly. Each card is processed by Thortful.co.uk, with shipping being fast, quick and efficient. You can shop my anime themed cards over on my Instagram, with my links being over on there. Just search Chibiweeb Anime and you'll find me. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for checking out the podcast. It really does mean a lot. Please do leave a rating and a review down below. It really does support the show and it's free to do. I'll see you next time. I'll see you next Friday. Have a great weekend. If you're a subscriber or if you're thinking of subscribing or starting the free trial on Apple Podcasts, I'll see you on Sunday for the next episode of the Chibi Piece exclusive Apple Podcast exclusive episode on Sunday. Thanks guys. Bye bye.
Yes,